do to him, and freaking a Khabib could do to him. So I was like, okay, what can Dustin Poirier bring to the table that Islam has not seen before? Hey, what's going on, fight fans? Hey, this is Coach D, the Wild Man, coming at you again with another episode of Coach D Media. Now, you know I do with Coach D Media. I talk about all things combat sports related, from the highs to the lows. All right, let's go ahead and get back into it. Okay, I just saw the press conference between Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier, right? So, going into this, when I first heard about the fight, I said, okay, Dustin is kind of getting back on track. He had some pretty, I don't want to say bad losses, but he lost in ways that I thought he wouldn't lose, and how fast he lost. I'm like, okay, he may not have a shot against Islam. Islam can do everything that the former fighters who beat him, like Charles Oliveira, can do to him. And freaking, a Khabib could do to him. So I was like, okay, what can Dustin Poirier bring to the table that Islam has not seen before? So I looked at their stats, right? So Islam is 32, Dustin is 35. So that's kind of close. They ain't that far apart, right? Islam is 25-1 and Dustin is 30-8. Okay, 8 losses, yeah, but 30 fights is a good little bit of fights, man. So he got real fight experience, right? Freaking Islam got 5 KOs, Dustin got 16. That's a telling sign right there. That's a very telling sign, right? Then 11 subs for Islam and 7 subs for Dustin. So when I looked at that, I was like, okay, that's not that far off. Okay, they're pretty close in ability that anyone can win based off what's on paper. So I was like, okay, so what could Dustin do? What could he really do to really change the game of the fight, right? So you can only look at what he's done in the past up to this fight, right? And the UFC always makes you go, look, we need great fights, right? We don't need no boring fights. We don't need no bullshit. We need great fights. So once that gets into your head, you tend to do stuff that you normally wouldn't do. You may stay in the pocket a little bit longer than you would have. You maybe get off the cage. You may not take him down. You may do a whole bunch of other stuff to make the fight exciting, right? So if Dustin decides to go, you know what? I'm going to stick to a game plan that allows me to be successful and win. He don't got to knock out Islam, right? He don't got to submit Islam. He just got to beat Islam soundly and win each round. Hold on, cut my phone off. All he has to do is win each round. Keep from being really taken down, right? Keep from getting hit clean, right? And win each round. So there's a strategy there to beat Islam. If you take out what the UFC and Dana White wants fighters to do, make crazy exciting fights, who's gonna get the knockout, who's gonna get the submission. If we take away that, right, and go find a way to win, Dustin has a real shot. And here's what I mean. That cage is huge. That's a huge cage. With the proper footwork, you can probably outstrike Islam. Get your shots in and get out. Use the size of the cage to your advantage to outpoint Islam. Now, is it going to be easy? No. Does Dustin tend to get taken down? Yes. So if they spent the whole camp on avoiding the takedown, avoiding the control, use the cage to nullify, then it comes down to who wears out who first. Now, Islam seems like to never get tired, so I can see him wearing down Dustin quicker. But look what Dustin did in this last fight. He mixed it up enough to eventually knock out, old buddy in the second round. So there's plenty of ways that Dustin can win if he uses a fight strategy outside of what Dana White wants, right? Just use the size of the cage to your advantage. Hey, pivot off the center. Hey, keep your distance, avoid the shots, which I'm not saying easy. Use your footwork, but it can be done. He has the experience to do it. All he has to do is train that way. Go off again, change the way you want to fight to win a round. If he focuses on winning a round and not focus on winning the fights, he can beat Islam. Now, is it going to be the most spectacular fight in the world? No, but it'll be an extraordinary upset that you have to live with, that Dustin got the belt back and beat Islam. Now, how likely is that? It is a tall order. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. Islam is a dominant pound-for-pound champion for a reason. He's beat pretty much everybody he done been up against. So you can't knock what he's doing. But Dustin has the experience and he knows how to win. The right coaching and the right game plan can get the job done. I'm not ruling out Dustin after this press conference. I'm not ruling it out. I think complacency from Islam. I think trying to make another statement, like I'm going to head kick this guy or submit this guy, right? I don't think he's going to fight him to a decision. He's going to want to try to get him done early. I think that's going to play against him. There's a lot of potential mistakes Islam can make in his thinking because he's been so dominant. You can make those mistakes thinking that, look, these guys don't have the skills that I do. I'm from Dagestan. I train hard. Don't nobody train harder than us. Yada, yada, yada. Look at Khabib. Look at me. We're two of the most dominant fighters in the UFC, right? That can go to your head real quick, right? And 16 KOs to 5 is a significant number to pay attention to. That means Dustin knows how to knock you out. That's what that means. Is he going to knock out Islam? We'll see. We'll see. But I am more excited now than I was in the beginning. I was like, I think Islam going to run away with it. And I'm not saying that he's not, but I see enough of a window that the right strategy could win. Like I said, everybody got a puncher's chance. We all say that, right? But in this case, the right fight strategy, he can outfight Islam. I really think so. So I'm curious. So we're going to find out. That's all I got. This is Coach D. Doing what I'm doing, calling it like I see it, talking my share of shit. To hear from me again, peace out.